The internet is on fire right now, and if you've been anywhere near social media in the last 24 hours, then you already know Offset and Cardi B's divorce drama has officially gone from messy to absolutely explosive. What started as quiet rumors has now turned into a full-blown digital war with accusations, receipts, denials, and both sides scrambling to control the narrative before things spiral even further. Because out of nowhere, a post started circulating claiming that Offset had turned down Cardi B's alleged $10 million divorce settlement offer, saying, "I built her brand. I deserve half." And just like that, fans went crazy. Blogs reposted it. Gossip pages amplified it. People started choosing sides. Suddenly everyone had an opinion on whether Offset really helped build Cardi's empire, or whether Cardi built that entire machine on her own from day one. But then things got even crazier. A so-called source popped up saying Offset feels used, that he spent years helping craft Cardi's image, helping with her branding, and now that everything is falling apart, he wants his cut. Sounds wild already, right? Well, Cardi's camp wasn't having a NY of that. Sources close to her came forward saying they're preparing receipts, actual proof, showing that Cardi built her empire with her own grind, her own hustle, and her own money, long before Offset ever stepped into the picture. And just when fans thought the drama hit its peak, Offset himself jumped into the comments, calling the entire thing false rumors, saying the blogs are running a hate campaign, and that none of it is true. But here's the twist. Even though he denied that rumor, WALL remember Cardi already exposed that Offset allegedly wants her to pay his taxes, and that he wants one of her home stats. So what's really going on? Stick around because we're breaking down the full story, the behind-the-scenes motives, and why this divorce battle is getting uglier by the minute. So let's break this down from the beginning, because the way this rumor started and the way it instantly blew up tells you everything about how fragile this whole Offset and Cardi B situation is right now. The truth is, the moment their divorce became public, the internet began spinning all kinds of narratives. Some believable, some downright wild. But nothing yet harder than that viral post saying, Offset turned down a $10 million divorce settlement offer because he built her brand and deserved half. Now listen. When that screenshot dropped, it didn't come from some tiny page. It came from one of the blogs that fans actually trust. And the way the caption was worded made it sound like someone close to Offset had slipped the tea. It said, Offset allegedly turns down Cardi B's $10 million divorce settlement offer. I built her brand. I deserve half. It stirred the pot immediately. Comment sections filled up with fans debating whether Offset had really contributed that much to Cardi's rise. Because let's be honest, when Cardi met Offset, she was already buzzing, already viral, already a star on the rise. She had Bodak Yellow climbing the charts, she had millions of followers, and she already had that unstoppable personality that made her a superstar. But at the same time, you can't deny that once she linked with Offset, her PR went even crazier. They became hip-hop's power couple. They grabbed headlines together. They performed together. They went viral together. And Offset was already established in music through Migos, so the rumor instantly created two sides. The Offset helped elevate her, give that man his half crowd. And the Cardi built this whole empire herself. She doesn't owe him a damn thing, crowd dot, but then a source. And we know how these sources be, came out saying Offset felt used. This supposed insider claimed Offset believed he helped shape Cardi's brand, helped with her marketing, helped guide some of her moves behind the scenes. According to that version of the story, Offset wasn't just a husband. He saw himself as part of the machine that pushed Cardi into the global icon she became. And according to the same source, now that they're going separate ways, he wants what he feels he contributed. But right when the internet was taking sides and preparing for World War III in the comment sections, Cardi's team stepped in. They were not about to let that narrative fly. People close to her reportedly said they were ready to drop receipts proving Cardi built everything long before Offset, that the deals she secured, the branding decisions she made, the money she accumulated, all came from her own grind as an independent woman who was already killing it in the game. And this is where things got spicy. Because instead of ignoring the rumor, Offset himself jumped in the conversation. He commented directly on the post and said, "False rumors. All of it. Stop running a hate campaign. None of this is true. Now that was a shocker because Offset usually stays silent when drama hits the blogs. But this time, he wasn't letting it slide. The problem is, even though he denied this rumor, fans remembered something very real that Cardi herself said on social media. Offset allegedly asked her to pay his taxes. And on top of that, he wanted one of her homes. And that's the issue. People can only deny so much before the internet remembers the receipts that already exist. So now the question is Offset shutting down lies? Or trying to control the narrative before the truth comes out? And is Cardi preparing to expose everything? Or protect what's left of their marriage publicly? Now let's get into the part of this story that really has fans side-eyeing everything, the timing. Because you don't have to be a detective to see that this rumor didn't just pop out of nowhere. It dropped right after Cardi publicly revealed that Offset wanted her to pay his taxes and hand over one of her homes. That alone had people questioning what was going on behind the scenes. Cardi isn't the type to randomly expose private divorce details unless she's frustrated or feels like someone is trying to play her. So when she went online saying Offset wanted her to pay what he owes, it painted a picture of a man who might be struggling financially or at least trying to secure something during the divorce. And that's what made the rumor believable to so many people. Now here's where the twist comes in. Fans started connecting dots. They said, if Offset is really asking for her to pay his taxes, then it's not that crazy to think he might want a settlement too. And let's be real, divorces between celebrities almost always include settlements, negotiations, and arguments over who gets what. Offset and Cardi aren't normal couples. They're both highly paid artists with brands, assets, homes, and millions on the line, but the rumor didn't just say you wanted money. It said he turned down $10 million because he believed he deserved half of Cardi's brand. That part set the internet ablaze. Because whether you love Offset or can't stand him, saying he built Cardi's brand is a major claim. A claim that, if true, would immediately change the tone of their divorce. So when Offset hopped into the comments to deny it, fans were confused. Some believed him. Others said he was only denying it because it went viral and made him look greedy. But the most interesting reaction came from insiders close to Cardi. They weren't just denying the rumor, they were preparing receipts. That tells you something. If someone says they're ready to drop proof, that means they feel very confident that the public doesn't understand the real story. Think about Cardi before Offset. She was already blowing up organically. She built a fan base from scratch, went viral by just being herself, and had her breakout hits lined up long before she tied the knot. Offset's presence may have added publicity, but it didn't create her. That's what Cardi's team is gearing up to prove, but her success was not dependent on Offset, and that she doesn't owe him half of anything. But here's something else nobody's talking about. Offset denying this rumor doesn't automatically make him innocent or transparent. Celebrities deny true stories all the time when the public heat gets too intense. And since Cardi already revealed private financial demands, many fans are asking if the $10 million part is fake. Why didn't he deny asking her to pay his taxes? Why didn't he deny wanting the house? It's the silence around those parts that makes people suspicious. On Cardi B's side of things, the energy is completely different. While Offset has been reacting online and trying to push back against rumors, Cardi's camp has been staying quiet but strategic. And if you know Cardi, you know she doesn't keep quiet unless she's getting ready to drop something big. Let's go back to that receipts comment. When insiders say they can prove Cardi built her empire on her own, that means they're ready to pull up documents, contracts, deals, and timelines that show Cardi was already winning before Offset stepped into her life. And honestly, the timeline backs it up. Before the marriage, Cardi had a huge social media presence. She had already built her brand as an entertainer. She signed with Atlantic. Bodak Yellow was already bubbling. She was already a trending personality. She had endorsements. And hosting gigs. Cardi's rise didn't happen because of Offset. It happened because she was a force of nature. Raw, unfiltered, talented, and marketable. Offset may have polished certain aspects of her presentation or connected her with certain people, but that doesn't mean he built her brand. And Cardi's team knows the public needs that reminder. They're preparing to show the receipts because they want to shut down any narrative that paints Cardi as someone who needed a man to become successful. That's the LAST thing Cardi wants associated with her brand. Especially now, but beyond the branding question, there's a bigger issue here: Offset's financial situation. Cardi hinting that he asked her to pay his taxes raised red flags. People started wondering, is Offset broke? Is he behind on payments? Does he owe the IRS? Is the divorce exposing him financially? And that's where the rumor became dangerous for him. If fans begin to believe that Offset is scrambling for money, it damages his image. It makes him look unstable. And in the middle of a divorce, image matters, especially if you're trying to protect assets. So Offset had to deny the rumor. Whether it's true or not, he couldn't let the public believe he turned down $10 million. That would imply Cardi offered him something huge and he rejected it because he wanted more, which would come across as greedy and entitled. Meanwhile, Cardi's silence speaks volumes. Usually, she's very vocal. If a lie is being spread about her, she addresses it instantly. But this time? Nothing, not a word. That tells you the situation is serious. Lawyers are likely involved. Her team is preparing statements. They're probably letting Offset talk, knowing that every comment he makes could be used later. There's also the emotional side. Cardi might genuinely feel hurt that Offset, after everything, is now trying to pull something out of her financially. She stood by him through cheating scandals, public embarrassments, breakups, makeups. And now, during the divorce, he wants money? A home, his taxes paid? It feels like a betrayal. And Cardi's fans have picked up on that. What a lot of people aren't realizing is that this divorce isn't just emotional, it's a high-risk business negotiation disguised as a breakup. Both Offset and Cardi have millions invested in their brands, and both of them have reputations that can be damaged depending on how this divorce plays out publicly. Divorces involving celebrities always have layers. It's never just, we're breaking up. It's, who gets which property? Who owns the brand deals? Who has rights to shared assets? Who keeps the royalties? Who pays legal fees? And who controls the narrative? Offset's biggest problem right now is the public narrative. He's already been labeled as the one who messed up the marriage multiple times. People associate him with cheating, scandals, and poor decisions. Cardi, on the other hand, has maintained huge public support. So when this rumor came out, it immediately fit the existing narrative people already believed about Offset, that he would try to benefit from Cardi after hurting her. If the public believes he's broke, greedy, or trying to take from Cardi unfairly, that damages his long-term earning potential. Brand deals don't want drama. Label partnerships don't want instability, and fans will turn on you fast. From Cardi's side, the risk is different. She isn't worried about her image. The public largely supports her. What she has to protect is her money. Cardi is in her prime. She has brand deals, sponsorships, businesses, and music revenue all peaking at the same time. A messy divorce could slow her momentum, distract her, and potentially cost her millions depending on how the settlement plays out. There's also the emotional factor. Cardi has a child with Offset, and whether they like it or not, they'll always be connected. Cardi might not want things to escalate in a way that affects co-parenting. She knows Offset loves his kids. She knows they'll be tied together for life. So she might be trying to keep the peace, even while preparing receipts behind the scenes. Another aspect people aren't discussing is ego. Offset is a man with pride. Cardi is a woman with confidence. When two powerful personalities collide in a divorce, it becomes less about money and more about who gets the last word. Who gets the public on their side? Who gets to control the final chapter of the story? That's why the rumor blew up so fast. It wasn't just Offset wants money. It was Offset believes he made Cardi. That hits a nerve. That challenges her identity as a self-made woman. And Cardi isn't letting that slide. Now let's get into what might be the biggest factor of all: the pressure on Offset right now. Because whether he admits it or not, Offset is facing a career crossroads. The Migos era is over. Takeoff's death shattered the group. Quavo is moving differently. Offset has been trying to rebrand himself as a solo artist. But the truth is, Offset's solo career hasn't reached the mainstream traction he needs to match Cardi's level of success, and that's where fans are starting to make assumptions. They're saying Offset might be feeling financially unstable, especially compared to Cardi's massive earning power. That's why the rumor of him wanting taxes paid and a house hit harder than anything else. It didn't come out of nowhere. It came after Cardi publicly said it. Cardi has no reason to lie about that during a divorce. Fans are asking, is Offset behind on taxes? Did he overspend? Is he trying to secure assets before the divorce is finalized? Even if none of that is true, the perception is already out there. And perception is everything in celebrity divorces. Meanwhile, Cardi's empire is still growing. She has business ventures, sponsorships, TV deals, collabs, and she's active in the fashion world. She's bringing in big checks consistently. A divorce settlement could easily become one-sided, depending on what Offset demands. This entire drama is exposing the imbalance in their careers. Offset's denial seemed rushed, emotional, and defensive, which made people question him even more. Cardi's silence, on the other hand, looks controlled, strategic, and calm, which makes her look more credible. Their fan bases are split. Team Cardi says Offset is trying to secure the bag because he knows she's worth more. Team Offset says he's being dragged with lies because blogs hate him. But here's the truth. Once Cardi said what she said about him wanting money, homes, and taxes paid, the public started believing anything attached to that narrative. The $10 million rumor only confirmed what people already suspected, and now their divorce isn't just a breakup. It's turning into a battle over credibility, finances, and legacy. Offset wants to protect his name. Cardi wants to protect her empire. And the internet wants blood. So now that we've laid out the entire situation, the rumors, the denials, the receipts, the financial tension, and the behind-the-scenes motives, it's time for you to weigh in. Because this isn't just some regular celebrity breakup. This is a storyline that's unfolding in real time, with new information dropping every hour, and both sides fighting to control how the public sees them. Do you believe Offset? Do you think the blogs are just spreading lies to make him look bad? Or do you think he's only denying the rumor because it exposed something he didn't want the world to know? Or are you on Cardi's side, believing that she built her brand from the ground up and doesn't owe a single dollar to anyone, especially not someone she stood by during so many scandals? What's clear is this: the divorce is going to get messier. More information is going to drop. Cardi said she has receipts. Offset is already reacting emotionally online. And once the lawyers get fully involved, we might see documents, timelines, filings, and revelations that nobody expected. This is just the beginning. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications. Because as soon as more details spill, and trust me, I'll be right here breaking it down for you in real time. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think Offset's real motive is. Is he trying to protect his image? Is he trying to secure a settlement? Or is he truly being dragged into a fake rumor mill? And most importantly, do you think Cardi is getting ready to expose everything? Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.